The FSR Pro Series has returned after a long break and everyone's revitalized for a thrilling second half of the season. Round 7 and we're here at Hockenheim in Germany for track, which once screamed through the European forests and has now evolved into a modern day racing circuit that it is now. I'm alongside Jong once again, proud to be alongside this man for what should be another great race, Chris.
Yeah, it should be. And if you can take over for a minute, this is some unfortunate time. You're okay.
So we're in Q1 at the moment. There's 7 minutes remaining. We have some early times on a track that still needs to group up a bit. Daniel Brewer's up there in first with a 16.3, followed closely by Sworkos, who won the last round. Don't forget, he took his maiden win of the season for faster than speed, and he looking to capitalize on that and bring that run of great form into the second half of the year. And we had a pre-qualifying session as well, so I'm assuming there should be 26 drivers all ready to race now at the moment. So let's talk about a bit about the track while the drivers still set their early laps. We got 16 turns, around 4.5 kilometers, so that's around 2.8 miles. It's quite a hefty lap on the mechanical components of the car. That's the engine and brakes, and even the tire wear will be pretty decent this round. We're expecting 2 stops, but we'll talk more about that in the warm-up. As looking at times at the moment, I can't seem to find our man who's second in the championship, Bojov. He's not in the server. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's allocated or not to race, but we'll find out soon. So as we follow Renz Klopp, who's starting his second lap of the session, he's currently in 6th. He's our championship leader. And he, let's have a look at his first sector for the moment, which is 16.9. He's matched his first sector, so he might have made a mistake in other parts of the lap. We'll have to wait and see. As he comes, braking very hard for the hairpin, and a nice exit over there. So this is a tricky little braking zone he's coming up to now, which is also an overtaking spot, but it's not easy, of course. We'll have to wait to see which driver has the guts to stick it up the inside there. And coming across the sector 2 line, he's 3/10 up on his lap. So now, in the final tricky sector, he's got Ben Eastman in front. I hope he realizes on a lap he might get impeded or not, but Eastman's starting his own lap, so I don't really think he's impeding here. Just a bit of bad luck where Klopp is. And across the line, he does a 16.5, so he definitely lost time in that final sector. He's only 5th at the moment, but Brewer's still up there with that first lap of a 16.3. So, just had word that Bojov apparently retired from FSR. I must have missed that. But that's quite unfortunate because he was really challenging up there. He won the first round, but other than that, he really did have some great speed to compete. And that's hopefully he'll be back sometime soon in the future. Brewer's just done a 15.8 and he's up by half a second in P1. Wonderful job by him. He's racing for Go Speed this round. Remember, he was at Abercrombie for the first half of the season, and Go Speed's picked him up, signed up this speedy man. I think he's from England, if I'm not mistaken. So doing the Brits proud, doing at least England proud, and it's very, very close. There's, I think, about 6 drivers in the 16.5s at the moment, and someone who's just gone 3rd is Viktor Ivanov with the 16.4, so 3 minutes remaining. We'll see a lot of drivers coming out of the pits soon to cross the line with, you know, a few seconds to go and set that final lap. So let's go look at the cutoff point. That's P10, and that's James Sadler's currently in P10, but he hasn't secured it completely. He's still got Campus and Christoph Schor in 11th and 12th. Saw some of Christoph Schur's times in before the weekend on the server, and he's done pretty lightning quick qualifying time. So I'm not sure why he's in P12. He definitely needs to string a good lap together, and currently he's 1/10 up on his best lap, and he's about to cross the Sector 2 line. So here's a man we have to watch. Crossing the Sector 2 line, so now he's 3/10 up. This will put him around in second place, so this will be a great lap for Christoph Schur. Unfortunately, though, he has Eastman again, he's on a lap, I think, so he's definitely not impeding. He's just on a bit of a slower lap, and then Schur needs to make sure he gets a nice smooth exit right up to the back, takes some slipstream, and shortest run to the flag. He still gets P3, so not a bad lap for him, and he should make it into Q2. So back to P10, Winter's now in P10. I think that was from Christoph Schur going up. So James Sadler's gone down to 11th. We have Alessio Campos, the speedy Italian, in P12. Holmes, another driver who is out of quality. He's out in Q1 again. He won't have time. I mean, there's a minute 9 seconds. He won't make it across the line. So his qualifying session's over, unfortunately. So that's it's sort of becoming a tradition for Holmes now, getting out in Q1, which is not what he wants to do. I mean, he's a better driver than that. He's also streaming the race, so visit the forums for a Twitch TV link, but definitely don't leave us here. Who else am I looking for? Campos is out as well, so he won't make the flag, but other drivers who have a chance to it's a bit confusing. There's so many drivers who have a chance now to make Q2. Brewer, Klopp, Corey, all at the front. The top three are secure over there. James Sadler's completed a lap. He's up to 6, so good job from him there to get into the top 10. There's a lot of there's 5 Go Speed cars in the top 7, so this is quite dominant. Mike Partington is in 9th. He's about to cross the line now. And I think he's starting a lap. He might have crossed the line with a second, so he's not going to complete a lap. Who are the other people we need to watch at the moment? Eugene van Logerenberg crosses the line. He's 15th, so he doesn't improve, and unfortunately he is out for Avid Chronic Racing. Jorg Winter now is about to complete his second sector, and he is currently up on his time by 3/10. So Jorg Winter in P11 could upset Dewald Nell at the moment in 10th. One Avid Chronic driver could knock out the other. Final couple of corners. Nice and smooth. The front left tire killer as he exploits the track limits just, and he goes up to 7th. So unfortunately for Dewald Nell, he's out in 11th. Mike Partington, though, both Aventa cars lucky to make it in P9 and 10, so that's Q1 over. And
unfortunately, I am back again. And the crowd goes wild.
Great. Yes, I can actually hear the crowd now, which is some good sound effects by R Factor.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a problem in our factor, but that's all over. It's a clean install, so but exciting top 10 here, and really surprising too. I was definitely seeing Dewald Nell joining in there, but he got pushed out at the last second.
Yeah, and it's good for Mike Partington. He didn't make Q2 at Silverstone, if I remember, so it's good for him to make up. I think he'll be racing in WC later on. But at the moment, it's the Pro Series, so we'll concentrate on that. Another driver.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I think we have a bigger problem because Cordell Cahill actually went out on track during Q1. Carlos Martin actually saying to him he had a back of the grid, and he's really frustrated with him because he ignored the back of the grid. So obviously there's going to be some problem there. So let's see what will happen there.
Hopefully no what was I meant to say? Hopefully no problems there, and we can just carry on with the race, because it's got a big field of drivers at the moment. A lot of drivers, I think, do have back of the grids for several penalties from Silverstone, which was a thrilling race, which Swerkus took top honours there. Daniel Brewer, once again, has got some great pace. So Q2 now, Chris, and we want to speak about which drivers you think will take pole position.
Well, that's a tough call, to be honest. We do see it's very close between Daniel Brewer and Rens Klopp. Although Rens Klopp is, he might hold back a little bit in Q1, thinking, okay, I have a margin of over half a second. But considering the times, I should say Rens Klopp or Daniel Brewer.
Yeah, definitely. They're 3/10 away from the rest of the crew. Ghostby, though, is I'm actually quite amazed by this. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers in the top 7. That is ridiculously dominant at the moment. And Edward Corday is someone who is in P4 now, and he's had the pace, but he hasn't been up the top 5 much. So that's good for him that he's improved over the summer break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and both the Kenta's SimRacing cars actually jumped in of the top 10. Mike Harrington, of course, in 10th position there. They might actually have a top 5 position. It's all about that one lap now, and that's what's so decisive. I mean, we have seen this also in real Formula 1. If you mess up that one lap where it should go right and it goes wrong, we can have an entire mix-up on the grid. At this moment, it's Sorokas going out first.
Yeah, Brewer and Sorokas queuing up, and then Brewer just jumped in front of Sorokas as you said that. And as you said, with the making a mistake in Q2, Klopp made a mistake in Silverstone. He started P10, and that was pretty much decisive in him not winning the race, because he definitely had the pace. So
I do believe that there were some backmarker problems where Rens Klopp was involved, but let's not talk about that anymore. That was certainly one hell of a race, but either way, they have a chance now to prove themselves again. It has been a long break, and Daniel Brewer, obviously the confident of the two, because he's already going out and is saying, okay guys, I'm gonna give you guys the benchmark, and I'm confident you will make it. So let's keep an eye on him.
Definitely keep an eye on him. Currently we have 7 drivers on track. Why is DeWald Nell's on track? He's in P11. I'm not sure if Carlos Martin knows about that, but if he's listening to the broadcast, definitely get that sorted. But other than that, we have 7 drivers on track. Klopp, Ivanov and Partington still in the pits from the top 10. It'll be Brewer first to cross the line to set his lap. And let's follow this on board now. Oh, he runs wide. He's definitely cut the track there. Will he abort his lap? He's kept going, so we're probably expecting a penalty next round. Onto the straight. So that's quite unfortunate. I'm pretty sure Brewer ran wide, unless my screen is trying to cause an illusion for me. Let's look at the Sector 1 times though. Brewer's on a 16.7. Mikko Swerkus on a 16.9, although Brewer did cut. And who was next on the list? I think it was DeWald Nell, who actually isn't meant to be in the session, but he's on the 17.0. Christoph Schor's on a 16.6, so he's up there for pole at the moment. Klopp's left the pits. We still have to wait for... Winters made a mistake. Jorg Winters going to start wherever. He's currently in P8, but he'll definitely start P10 most likely. Ivanov and Partington still haven't left with 2.5 minutes. Going back to Daniel Brewer, he's on the 35.9 second sector. Final couple of corners. Maximising the track. And now crosses the line, 16.0, not his best lap. He did a 15.8 Q1. Swerkus is the next one. He does a 16.3, so he's in P2. Now waiting for there's another driver. Sadler's made a mistake as well, so he's not going to get a lap in. Duordenell's done a 17.0, and he goes P3. Christoph Schor 15.5, wonderful lap, and that's pole position for him. Corey follows in second for Go Speed, and that's a 15.9. Pretty much every car today is probably a Go Speed car. Falcon for Go Speed has done a 15.8. Oh wow, so now we're going to have to take a bit of a breather and wait for Renz Klopp, who will begin his lap at the moment, and we'll need to beat a 15.5. What a lap from Christoph Schor. I knew he had the pace, and I said it in Q1. That's great. And Klopp, oh, almost runs wide, but that's good that he kept it together. Ivanov hasn't left the pits. Ivanov will start in 10th. Renz Klopp first sector is 16.9. And who was next? Mike Partington's just crossed the line to start his lap. So let's follow Renz Klopp at the moment. Nice hairpin, although could have been a bit more aggressive. Let's see what his time would be. Will be when he crosses the second sector line, second gear through this corner. So a different setup to some other teams who might use third through their fourth gear through this fast sweeping right-hander. Now Renz Klopp a 35.8, so he's currently 3 tenths down on Christoph Schor for pole. And now through the stadium section, this is maybe the twister car is running a bit more downforce, so he could gain those 3 tenths in these next few corners. On the throttle, nice and early for the final corner. Renz Klopp only P3, so he won't have pole position for this round. Back to Mike Partington, who crosses the second sector line, and he looks like he might be matching Klopp at the moment. Oh, sliding and misses the apex for that little tricky loop there, and now throws the car in for the final corner. And now him for he's only P6. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much. So Christoph Schor, who takes his first pole since round 1. Wonderful job for Go Speed. Adrian Falcon is in second, and Chris, you're back with a nice and revitalized microphone there.
Yeah, is that true? Is it better this way?
Oh, that is good. That's as good as it could possibly be. And now we'll quickly round out the top 10 for you. It's Christoph Schor in first, second, Renz Klopp, our championship leader, in third, followed by Edward Corey, Daniel Brewer, Mike Partington, Mikko Swerkus, our winner from last round, Duordenell in 8th, although I'm not sure, maybe I've missed something there as to why he's allowed to qualify when he was P11 in Q1. Then we have Sadler Winter in 9th and 10th. And now we will have the drivers add their fuel for this 40-lap race. 60% distance compared to the WC race, the World Championship, in a few hours' time. So let's talk about a few things now. We want to mention that number 1, Herren Kweekel, our man from our broadcast team, won't be racing today, unfortunately. He has some wheel issues that he'll hopefully fix soon, because he's been up there with the front runners throughout the season, so it's someone that we don't want to lose, who can spice up the racing, definitely. Some other factors to note is that, this is from my notes at the moment, which I took, is I remember that Holmes had great consistent pace. Looking at the standings though, he's tied for third with Swerkus, so that's in the championship. He's starting in P13. I don't think that's how he wanted his qualifying session to go. Definitely. Klopp had a scruffy round in Silverstone. That backmarker issue that Chris mentioned before, while he sorts out a couple more issues, and he should be ready to commentate for the race with me. Klopp definitely was impeded by a backmarker there. I'm not sure whether he could have taken the win or not, but he definitely lost the opportunity
Yeah, and sorry for the mess up there from my part. I mean, I'm completely back now. I have all the faith that my mic is indeed as it should be, clear and sound. So we're back on track. And as you mentioned earlier, Jonathan Holmes actually didn't practice as much for this race. I had a little bit of a chat with him, and he actually installed the track, I believe, yesterday or today. So don't expect really much of him, and it's unfortunate to see because he's one of those drivers that can really turn some heads around. He's like the Jensen Button. I mean, in FSR, he's so stable. And he doesn't screw up most of the times. And well, it's unfortunate to see him starting in 13th place, but he can definitely make up for it. Well, let's keep an eye out on that. Christopher Schroer, as you mentioned earlier, having scored his first pole position since the first race, so actually his second pole position this season, definitely surprised me. I mean, I was sure Rens Klopp or Brewer would take it, but I was wrong.
I reckon Schroer was sandbagging because I saw the hot laps before throughout the past week, and Schroer was up there the whole time. And as I mentioned, Quaker was also up there as well, so that's unfortunate he can't race. But looking at the drivers here, Schroer, that's great pace, and if he carries it into the race, this will be a nice battle between them because it's very tight between all those top 10 drivers there.
Yeah, and let's hope that the race paces will be indeed similar towards each other. And I'm also curious what the new guy Eugene van Logenberg can do. I mean, his name certainly has some class, doesn't it? I mean, let's see if he can turn it on into deeds. But no, it's good to see new guys into FSR, man.
Yeah, and if his name speaks for itself, hopefully he can. I'm trying to think of a pun, but I can't, so we'll just skip that.
Yeah, it's okay. He does have a good race pace, so to seem. Although the top runners haven't actually said anything. I don't think they wanna show to each other what they're really made of and what their race pace is. Towards its tire strategies, they're both similar as well. So won't see any difference in those strategies, but.
When you talk about strategies, I mean, I believe that a two-stop would be the fastest way, but it depends on the wear on that front left tire. Some people I know reported it to be as much as 10% per lap, but that's probably the most aggressive drivers. But if you do manage it, you can definitely stretch out a one-stop race. I'm not sure if that's the fastest way around.
Yeah, I believe the 10% a lap was me saying that because I drove with my keyboard today, but no, I think having a little bit of tire management, 10% is a little bit much. But yeah, you do have some high impact corners, man. I mean, for example, turn 1 is definitely a high bruiser for that, and never minding lockups. I mean, we all know that one lockup can cost you instantly a flat spot and indeed some tenths of your race pace. So let's keep an eye out who can stick the pieces together and in the end makes the puzzle complete.
Yep, and also looking back at my notes is Christoph Schroer was absent from Silverstone. I remember he just left during qualifying, which was I'm not sure why. We never got clarification on that. I think he had an issue with the servo, but anyway, he's back now. He's on pole position, so still under 5 minutes to go as these drivers get used to a heavier car and a heavier fuel load.
Indeed, and remember in Bach, for the people that do remember, it was actually a nice race. Christopher Schroer started from pole position, but he fell back after the middle stint of the race. And I believe he actually finished outside of the top 10 there. But like you said earlier, he's back, and I think he has the feeling he needs to prove something here. To himself mostly, but also to other people, because it's good to see if you're fast over one lap, but if you have a shitty race pace, then no way you will fight for the top spots.
No, definitely not, and that's something that Daniel Brewer needs to prove. He's a fast driver, but needs a bit of luck on his side for the races as he does a practice pit stop now.
Indeed, and as you just said, that Rens Klopp starts to improve on the race pace here. 18.564 now, and with 3 or almost 4 minutes to go yet in warm up. Just having a little bit of a breeze there, warm up lap, I suppose. Checking if everything is all right, and preparing himself for the start.
Yep, and as he breaks for the hairpin, there's only one DRS zone this round compared to normally we'd have 2, but it's across that main straight that you see. There's really nowhere else on the track that it becomes useful.
Yeah, that Tielke curve, like the left one. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do here, let's just draw one big line, you know? No, but
No.
I mean, it is a nice track, but compared to the old Hockenheim, you know, the straights, I mean, that was something else, you know? That was something else, but still, this has to do, and it will do, and I mean, I think it will be guaranteed for a lot of action, because the main principle of overtaking is having a big straight, a nice hairpin or chicane, and another big straight, and that's exactly what we have here, and yeah, you have multiple lines coming through that chicane, so definitely guaranteed for some action.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as you said, that track that used to scream through the forest, so if we're Klopp now is braking. The track used to continue here up to maybe 360 or 70 kilometers an hour, however fast those classic Formula 1 cars used to go. He's, let's see if he uses DRS on Zakharov. So he does. Let's watch his top speed, which will be 300, whoa, wow, 321 kilometers an hour, and he just passes Zakharov, who turns in on him. Bit of contact. So warm up, but they're still fighting and racing.
That's Zaharov really angry there, frustrated as well. I mean, pushing Rens Klopp off the track there. That was definitely Rens Klopp's line after the initial, and now he's just dive bombing. Rens Klopp just steering in. This is just pure frustration.
Hopefully none of that during the race, obviously. We'll race will, so warm up will run down the clock. It'll be 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And we'll, that dive bomb. Sorry, I'm just thinking about it. But yeah, so the times are very tight between the top 15. Or not really, it's a second and a half. But the race is going to move to the race now. So we'll round out the top 10 on the grid once that happens.
Yeah, but it's nice to see people already in the practice. I mean, the majority of the top 10 giving it everything, giving it a final test, and the pack is really close. I mean, half a second, and you cover the entire grid from 4th to the 10th position. So let's see what this will get us.
Yeah, I'm finally excited to get back underway. It's been 7 weeks since the last round. And we're excited. That video you posted, we are excited.
Yeah, definitely. No, but 7 weeks, it's a lifetime, man. It's much too long. But let's put that eagerness into a lot of spectacle here, because we're ready to go for the second race this weekend. Obviously, we had the first race yesterday, and we still got the main event to come, the World Championship, of course, Bono versus Morant, and probably some others. But
maybe
for now,
me, because
maybe you.
Maybe me, because I'm making my second race. So support me,
so
anyone
watch
out
out
there.
for Jonny Simon, guys. He's gonna claim a podium. No, but at the moment it's back to the Pro series. Christopher Schroer obviously started pole position after that brilliant lap of him. Adrian Falcom starts in second. Rens Klopp not on pole position this time, but a brilliant third place there. Eduard Cora starts on 4th spot. Daniel Boer at the 5th spot. Mike Partington at 6th. Miko Swoka starts 7th. Dewald Nel as 8th, although he did finish 11th in Q2, of Q1, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. James Sadler on 9th and George Winter on 10th. Can you take us to the next lot?
I will in a second, but the grid has changed up. Ivanov's in 11th. He should be in 19th, so we'll probably have to restart once again.
Interruption,
which
guys.
Carlos Martin is doing. So bear with us here as the formation lap will get underway soon. Grid edit needs to run, but once that happens, we'll round out the rest of the grid. So now, drivers for the win. Chris, your drivers.
Well, after already having messed up that pole position suggestion, I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure. It could be Timu Valkojärvi. For what we know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to laugh of. But let's say, I would say Daniel Brewer. I would give it to him.
Yeah, he's got some great pace. I reckon the luck. I'll go with Brewer as well. I reckon the luck has to go to his side. He made that double downshift, or I don't know what happened at Silverstone, but he lost a lot of time from that. And now, still waiting for the grid to run up. I'm not. It's going to be, in my opinion, it'll be Brewer or it'll be Klopp. I mean, no disrespect to the other drivers. Everyone has pace, but Klopp is way too dominant to even ignore for any chance to win. So
Yeah,
let's
he
wait
wants
and
this
see what he can
championship.
do.
That's for sure. I mean, I have driven against and raced against him from the past years, and I can have definitely see how he has improved, and he definitely wants to have a title on his name. He used to be so desperate for a win, and now he's definitely winning a lot, and I think he's desperate for a championship. So he's eager to prove himself. But indeed, you can't leave the other guys out of contention because the stakes are high. You know, we are all watching, and the world championship teams are watching. Most of these guys, like Ghost Speed, are all have all qualified in the 10. They want that one or the second spot in the world championship maybe next year. So there will be a lot on stake.
Yeah, and FSR definitely one of the best sim racing series in the world. So you want to prove your worth.
One of the best.
It is the best. I just wanted to show some humility there for where we all are at the moment. But let's go quickly through the rest of the grid now, which is sorted. Which is the sixth row of the grid is the speedy Italian Alessio Campos in 11th for Netrex, followed alongside Jonathan Holmes for Twister in 12th. Then we have the avid chronic cars of Lionel Clue and Eugene van Logerenberg with that nice bossy name. Then we have Zakharov and Randor Tam on row 8. And then Guglielmino Matti, Renan Lopez. So Lopez is racing for Sinister Race Team, which I haven't seen much throughout the year. And awesome to yeah. And then Ben Eastman for Beast Mode Racing Team. So hopefully he can beast it up for this race. He'll be alongside Viktor Ivanov. He's in 20th. Who has a 10-spot grid penalty. Sander Callas, a driver who has great pace, who shouldn't be in 21st, although he's down there. So let's see if he can it's a few guys throughout the race. Thomas Correala in 22nd for Crown 7 at Rex. Then we have Valkojärvi for Losa Cahill and Mihailo Vicentovic.
Yeah, and I actually want to comment on the Sinister Race team. That's a Brazilian team which I used to race for with a lot of friends, and they participated. They wanted to participate in the race 1, but we haven't seen them earlier. So now finally one driver starts competing. So that's nice. Welcome to them. So having said all this, we are just half a warm-up lap away to get this circus open. I mean, I think we will see an epic start. I think Rens Klopp will just wait and maybe hopes for something to go wrong between Falcon and Schroer, but he will definitely have too much on stake in order to have a DNF. You know, he will enjoy a nice point finish much more than fighting for a win and lose everything. Although, yeah, the competition high in the championship isn't really that present near to him. So let's see what everyone can do here.
Yeah, and turn 1 is tight, as you said. No DNF.
It is.
Definitely don't want any DNFs, as we'll definitely see drivers running wide throughout these first couple corners, as every car is taking their grid spot at the moment.
Indeed, and the wait is on for Christoph Schroer, already waiting 20 seconds for the lights to go on. And as everyone has parked their cars onto the line, Charlie Whiting is pressing the buttons. And here we go. We got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and they're off, and we're racing, guys. Here we go. Christopher Schroer with an excellent start, followed by Falcon closely. And Falcon actually diving first into the first corner. Christopher Schroer forced to go wide there. Nothing illegal there. Going on, the whole lot has gone through clean. And even Rens Klopp is taking Schroer right away in turn 2. Great move from Klopp there, and now the hunt is already on for Falcon, who actually had a brilliant start. Coming further up in the pack, Cora, Suokas in 7th, George Winter in 8th, Campus in 9th, DeWalt Nell in 10th, but DeWalt charging up to Alessio Campus and making up for a move here. And he actually spins and hits the Campus. DeWalt Nell causing a lot of trouble here, actually causes damage towards Holmes, and the whole lot spin. Massive carnage here.
Oh, look at the back, it's almost 4 wide.
Leon O'Clue and James Sadler went off the track.
Talking about the start of the second stage for Christoph Schor, terrible wheel spin. And that's why he's down in P3. We have a Brewer who's right up to the back of him, a screaming start. And now he's definitely on a charge here right now.
And
Daniel
another
Brewer.
crash, sorry to say, Rando Tam and Michalo Vicentovic crashed each other. Forced to probably retire, but back to the front. It's the first lap completed. Adrian Falcon leading, Rens Klopp 2nd, Christopher Schroer 3rd, Daniel Brewer 4th, and George Winter 5th. So there we have our top 5. Adrian Falcon there, going away with the lead. Didn't have pole position, but makes up for it after turn 1. So Rens Klopp here, not having DRS, but trying to lose as less time as possible in order to get into that zone. He is at this moment half a second down to him.
And now DRS not open this lap, it'll open next lap I'm pretty sure. So every driver, but no one's really onto the back of anyone. Edward Corre is shaping up a move on Jorg Winter, which he can't do, braking for the hairpin. Swokas braking very late, wow. And
and we have Renan Lopez here from Sinister defending from Dimitri Zaharov. They actually outbraked each other, and no changes there. Jonathan Holmes making a good start from 13th up to 10th. He is now behind Mike Partington, who climbed 1 position. And Alessio Campus already in the top 10 on 8th spot.
yeah, and also, yeah, Jonathan Holmes in 10th, so he's jumped 3 spots at the start. Falcon still leading by 8/10ths, and him and Klopp are breaking away from Schor, who Daniel Brewer is stuck in 4th behind Schor, so maybe he can shape up a move as DRS will now be enabled as Falcon crosses the line for lap 2. Oh, he runs very wide. So I think Klopp has a terrible turn 1 as well. So
well, that's what we call determination right there, having to get the maximum out of everything, and sometimes you just push over it. Let's see here. Christopher Schroer actually getting under pressure from Daniel Brewer, and I'm sad to say for Schroer, but having said earlier that he's probably fast on 1 lap and having trouble to keep his race pace in the same category, he starts to fall back already after 2 laps. So let's see if he can keep it together, but he's certainly under pressure from Brewer at the moment.
yeah, Brewer had DRS, but he couldn't make a move stick. So maybe Schroer's got some great straight line speed. It might not be good for total race pace, but in terms of getting past, it might be great.
And Holmes and Partington, sorry to say, but if we can go on board with Jonathan Holmes, he's having a tremendous battle with Mike Partington. Mike Partington just making the pass there and making it stick. That was definitely a nice move, right up to the edge. I don't think Jonathan will agree to that, but yeah.
Oh, and he almost gets onto the gravel, and that brings DeWalt Nell up to smelling his gearbox through this stadium section, but Holmes gets a great exit and he's already pulled away. Back to the front, it's Klopp's putting the pressure on Falcon, who runs wide again. I'm not sure. Oh, Falcon's on the grass as well.
Keep it together, Adrian.
Now Klopp would have DRS across.
He's going to charge for it. Klopp is going to charge for it. Let's go on board with it. Let's see if he gains any ground. DRS is open. Can he get any closer? The top speed between those guys is tremendous with DRS. Not yet close enough, but he will get there. Klopp here keeping it together, and I think he's much nicer to the tire.
Yeah, he might be saving them because remember we're expecting a 2-stop race.
He's not saving them, but he's having less effort. He's taking less effort into keeping the car balanced. I mean, if you see how much problems Adrian Falcon has at the moment, and if you see how controlled Rens is driving, you can definitely see who has the upper edge from them. But I know passing is another thing. You know, you can catch the driver. Passing is a complete other thing.
Yeah, Dirty Air has been reduced this round with a mod update, but At the moment, it seems like
Oh,
every
he's going
driver
wide.
is...
Sorry to interrupt, Adrian Falcon running wide once more. Let's see how his turn 1 goes this time. Wide again.
Really
This guy is
exploiting the
going
limits.
for it. I mean, determination, he gets an A+ from me. Or a 10. So is Rance close enough? What do you say?
No, it still seems the same distance last lap. So Klopp will have DRS, but Falcon's top speed... We'll have a look at the end of the straight. Now, Klopp is way too far back. Yeah, he's got about 5 or 10 kilometers on him, but Klopp doesn't even max out with DRS. So that's quite amazing.
Yeah, maybe he calculated it for later on to the race.
Yeah, so if he's stuck behind someone with a few laps to go, expect Klopp to scream past. Brewer's still stuck behind Score, so the lead now is a top 4 of 3.5 seconds between each other. This is a nice race that will shape out in the next few laps, as Jong Winter is holding 5th from them. Still have a few battles going on, or no battles, but still have quite a big pack of cars from 6th to 10th. And other than that, no real big battles shaping up, as I'm having a look at...
Well, Eugene van Loggenberg is certainly going for it for Rando Tam. He's clinching his gearbox, but pretty much stuck behind him. And that's not a nice pack to be in between, but... A
lot of drivers running wide at turn 1 as well, so I'm not sure if the stewards will look into that. But
exploring the limit.
Lead, yeah, for the lead, it's still unchanging. Oh, as Brewer's definitely got a good chance here. Might he break very late? And he's going for it.
Schroer definitely left the door right open there, and he might even get a better acceleration here than Schroer. Let's see, I should have been next to him right now, so... It's Schroer leaving the door open though. I mean, if someone dives in there, you basically have to let them through, because, I mean, you know, if someone commits, you can steer in, but you just therefore create an accident, so... That's the determination of overtaking I would like, to be honest, but...
Definitely, as long as it's clean racing and good racing, that's all we need. There's Falcon...
Yeah, real races aren't clean in the end. But, oh well. Let's go back to the battles. Let's see, Jonathan Holmes still in 10th position. Come on, Jonathan, you can do better than that. Your teammate is fighting for the lead. And, well, still fighting for the lead, because Adrian Falcon isn't easy to be overtaken, but yeah, the gap, even with the DRS, it seems to be the same each round, round after round, so...
Yeah, now Callis is right onto the back of Renan Lopez, might pass him now into turn 2, Lopez defends up the inside, Ivanov breaks late as well, he wants to play his part in this battle, so Callis will have DRS, as will Ivanov. Actually, Victor Ivanov's in
he's 1 lap
26th place. Yeah, he's 1 lap down. So it's just between Callis and Lopez at the moment. And
he
Sander
can be
Callis.
Lewis Hamilton. Remember Lewis Hamilton going on?
Was at this track.
Yeah, it was. Best there.
Oh, a bit of contact.
They wheels and there's some contact. That's a barge board right there.
Yeah, and a bit of a front wing end plate that was lost. Oh, Callis runs very wide. He will take this position away. That's for 12th
he can go underneath. Lopez can get underneath him, but he won't. So he definitely took that position, but at what cost? Because he still has some damage. In the meanwhile, Jonathan Holmes went to 9th position. So in the dark there, jumping 1 position. And we got a spin there. We got a spin. Edward Corr spins right onto the main straight, puts the car into reverse. Watch what you're doing, Edward. You're experienced enough. But rejoins without an effort, but that definitely cost some life out of his tires, and he got a flat spot now, so unlucky there, Edward, unlucky.
Yeah, he was in 7th place, and he lost the rear end looking at the replay, so that's unfortunate. He's now into P11, as up the front, everyone's still in their same spots. Klopp has to avoid Cahill. I'm not sure whether he got in the way or not, but and he loses a bit of traction on the exit. So Falcon's starting to maybe
drop Brewer is 3rd. So he jumped Schroer there.
Must have missed that. So that
Definitely action going on the track. So unfortunate for Christoph Schroer, but he lost the position out to Daniel Brewer, and he's now charging up towards Rens Klopp, because Rens Klopp not having any easy passes to Adrian Falcon. He starts to fall behind a bit. Adrian Falcon doing a great job here, and Brewer now. Let's hope he won't get any troubles with the back marker. This lap 8 back marker here. Get out of the way. Hup. So there he goes. And Daniel Brewer is off again.
He did. He got the pass done at the hairpin, and it was quite a. It's a long way to go back on the replay, but he was. He sort of ran very deep, but he passed score halfway down the straight. Quite an interesting sequence of events there. But he's into P3 anyway. Now he's going to charge down Rens Klopp and Falcon. We're expecting the 2 stop guys to pit around now, lap 8 to 12, and they'll go on to the soft tires.
Well, 8 and 12, I think they can manage another 4 or 5 laps. They have to squeeze it out now.
Oh, look at Van Loggen. Oh, wow. He's sent flying off turn 1. Let's watch what happened. I think it might have been an...
Whoa!
Oh.
Okay, so coming onto the replay, he's going to the first corner, gets out wide, goes onto the grass and makes contact to a car that's still there, and flies across the track and leaving debris and carnage all around. I don't hope anyone will get a flat tire out of that, but Eugene van Loggenberg going to the hospital, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite unfortunate for Sadler as well, who spun off. He was at the wrong place in the wrong time for both of those drivers. And Sadler's out of the race with suspension damage, and Falcon's still pushing it. Oh, he hits the front wing and he gets it. Oh, Klopp notices the debris, so his team is on him to tell him that. Ouch. But Falcon almost lost. He definitely should have damage from that. He hit a big piece of front wing from Van Loggenberg, and then maybe Klopp now can shape up a move. He's closer than I've seen him before, but it's still not close enough.
Do you think they have team radio?
There should. Might have been someone else who passed the. Yeah, I should have thought about that before I said it. So there was.
No, I'm just messing, but yeah, definitely. Let's hope he doesn't have a flat tire out of it. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time this season that Rens Klopp gets hit by a situation that isn't caused by him and gets a massive disadvantage. At this moment, it doesn't seem he has any trouble onto following Adrian. So let's assume nothing has happened, and he's actually catching him at this moment.
Looking at a battle down for 16th and 17th. Actually, that's Corey and Filosa.
Adrian Falcon in the pits and almost collecting Rens Klopp in the process. Ooh, that certainly just went well. So locking up the brakes for the pit line. So let's see what he goes on to now. It's on the super soft, of course. And he's going to soft. So I think he will do a 2-stop. Much like we've seen yesterday.
This will work out well from hopefully he should have fresher tyres. Hopefully he gets out in front of Mike Partington, which this is going to be very close. Partington around the outside.
He should.
And he might.
Whoa, he just let him through. Basically, he just let him through. No commitment whatsoever. Maybe thinking like I want to keep this car together, you know. But or maybe
he's thinking he's got DRS now.
Yeah.
Which he does.
A little bit weird.
If that's what he intended to do, that's smart. So he's up to P9 now, and he'll try and undercut, or he doesn't have to undercut anyone. He's in P1 effectively, but he'll try to improve his lead on Rens Klopp.
I don't think he's effectively into P1. It's a matter of will Rens Klopp go into the pits this lap, or will he have some life left in these tires, and maybe he thinks he can do a better job on the older super softs. I think he should go in, and he is going in. So let's see who will take the lead here and who will have the better pit stop. So Rens Klopp now entering the pits. I keep an eye out on Falcon. He's coming to the complex now into the second last hander. Adrian Falcon coming onto the main straight now. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. Adrian Falcon going to turn 1 now. And he did it, although he did cut a little bit. but he certainly got in front of it. He does have one lap less life on his tires, but I don't think it will make a huge significance.
Yeah, definitely not. And Klopp had Ben Eastman unfortunately making a pit stop in front of him, so he had to avoid that as he was exiting his box. So it cost him a bit of time, but I don't think it really cost him a chance at first place. He didn't lose that much time from it. But, look, the hairpin now, there's Nell and DeWald. No, he's letting someone through. No, Nell and Holmes are battling for 5th. Sorry, my timing screen was a bit delayed there. And, so Holmes takes 5th from DeWald Nell, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if Daniel Brewer or Christoph Schur pit in 1st and 2nd now.
Yeah, they should do. But well, they might want to have some fresh rubber at the end of the race and push it even harder through. No, Daniel Brewer is going into the pit, and Christoph Schur continues pushing on too. This is actually not the smartest. Oh, and someone almost going off there on the track. Winter just keeping it together there. And Daniel Brewer is into pit. So is Alessio Campos from the Networks. Indy Wild Nell is also in the pit. And Rens Klopp now charging at Falcon, taking a look before turn 1, but it was only a look.
So I'm looking at, yeah, Holmes went off the track, and I think he held up Falcon. Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Falcon made some contact.
Sorry to interrupt. Nobody at this moment. Rens Klopp is about to overtake Adrian Falcon, I think. Here we go with the DRS. Will he make a move here? There's definitely a gap. Will he charge for it? He does charge for it. Outbrakes himself a little bit and they make contact. Adrian Falcon coming out between them, or in front of them, but there definitely was some contact. Let's keep on board with Rens Klopp here. He definitely is not happy with what happened just a minute ago, and I think he sustained some damage there to his rear left.
Yeah, and if he sustained some damage, then so did Adrian Falcon. He tried to undercut him to get a good run out of the hairpin, but he just turned in a little too early. He still takes effectively 1st place as Christoph Schur pulls into the pits. And so does Jong Winter, so now Falcon will be the effective leader.
Yeah, well, Rens Klopp actually outbraked himself a little bit, but Adrian Falcon turned in like it just didn't happen. If it was to be decided in the court, I would believe Adrian Falcon would have a massive disadvantage there, because that's just turning into a guy that's next to you, you know? I mean, Adrian Falcon should know better. Nevertheless, he's in the lead right now.
I think Klopp might have another good shot at this as he'll switch on the DRS now, and that's the zone, and he'll definitely get this move done.
Well, he should. Go get him, Klopp, go get him!
Still not. Oh, wow. Nice defending from Falcon. Oh, and he sort of hangs the car at the apex to slow Klopp, so smart racing there, but Klopp will have a nice opportunity now around the outside, maybe. No, but Falcon defends well.
Yeah, he does defend well. And that's the thing I missed earlier on, you know, people just leaving the door open right there. Falcon showing them how it's done by just sorting to the middle of the track and saying this corner is mine. Like it should be done.
So as they battle, Brewer's now made this a top 3 battle.
Definitely.
And his tyres will definitely be a little less shot because he's been battling a bit less. And I can't remember when he made his pit stop though. Was it a little bit later? But nonetheless, it's shaping up to be a nice little battle here between the top 3.
Falcon and Rens are going really wide, and someone just made a stop. It's Clue. Oh, and Rens spins, Rens is off the track. Rens is off the track into the grass, makes a rookie mistake, I almost would say. Just locks the car onto brake and loses the control, so massive flat spot for him. And that allows Christopher Schroeder to push on through. Daniel Brewer into 2nd, and of course Adrian Falcon is back into clean air.
Oh, Klopp's type that he's got to stop and go, so hopefully the stewards remove that. I'm not sure why he had one. I think it was for cutting turn 1, because he did run very wide, and he's coming up to Lionel. Oh, that's Lionel Clue. Well, he should have a clue of what's going on and let him through, which he will soon. And Falcon's run away in the lead at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely in a lot of trouble at this moment. I don't know if Carlos Martin will remove it, but I mean, You know, I mean, those decisions with cutting have to be decided after the race, the rulebook says, so I hope he does remove it for him. At this moment though, Aiden Falcon being the happy guy in front, having almost a 2-second gap in towards Daniel Brewer, but the gap is now being closed to 1.5. So Brewer eating that advantage.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I can't remember Brewer's top speed. The stop-go penalties, there were 2 of them, I think, removed from Ren's Klopp, and it was probably an R-factor issue that needs to be addressed, which is very hard to be addressed. It's throughout the world that this happens, not just at FSR. But Klopp's now down into 4th. He's 4.5 seconds off from the lead, and we'll wait for the second sector timing screen to see how much Brewer's caught up to Adrian Falcon.
Yeah, and actually Carlos Martin did the right thing and removed the stop-and-go penalty of Ren's Klopp. So you can hold on. You no longer have to hold on to your breath, Twister Racing guys. It has been removed and he's back into contention. I just hope for Rens he doesn't sustain any damage onto that incident with Falcon, because if he did, Adrian Falcon might be coming up to a great surprise, having added some time up to his race. But I'm not the guy who makes those decisions.
1.1 seconds now, the gap. We'll see when Brewer crosses the line. Now it's 0.9 of a second, so he's in DRS. Opportunities.
And Adrian Falcon having shredded those tires a little bit more than Daniel, I'm sure.
Yeah, so this hopefully be a nice... Well, not hopefully it's a good battle, but for Brewer, he'll hope that it's a nice and easy pass.
He's eating away the advantage that Falcon has. I think he will even pass on this lap, not on this straight, but definitely on this lap if he continues like this. I mean, look at this, just braking later, going onto the throttle sooner. We might see that Falcon has a problem, because he definitely had a better pace a few laps ago.
Yeah, so Falcon's struggling on these sets of tires, and the Brewer, wow, he's really eating up this lead. He's hungry for a victory. Oh, and is that Falcon running wide, or is that just a bit of lag on my screen? It might have been a bit of lag.
That's lag.
So Christoph Schor is now being reeled in by the both, or he's reeling in both of them, I must say, because they're Brewer's stuck behind Falcon. Now might bring Klopp back into contention for the lead, so it's not all over for Ren's Klopp.
No, definitely not. The race isn't even halfway yet, so everything can happen. And as we just seen with Ren's Klopp, one easy mistake on the braking and you're gone. Might be the case that he was typing on the straight, you know, to Carlos Martin to remove the penalty. I don't know, but nevertheless he spun, and mistake is easily made. And it's the same rule for these guys. And at the moment, it's Adrian Falcon struggling to keep Daniel Brewer behind, and he might force Falcon into a mistake.
Yeah, now as Brewer has DRS, will he dive bomb Falcon? No, he doesn't, so he stays composed, and he's trying to shape him up soon. He's probably just wondering where Falcon's struggling, and oh, he's very close now as he into the slipstream of Falcon. Falcon will have to defend. He's going to have to do what he did before on Klopp, and he defends well. Brewer tries to go for the undercut. Oh, did he tap him? Well, I don't think he did.
No, he didn't.
Maybe Falcon lost the rear end, so it made it look like a tap.
No, Daniel definitely looking bright here, and definitely looking to have the better of the two. I'm just hoping, because I voted for Daniel, of course, for the start of this race. Nah, I just hope we get a nice battle, but it would be nice for him if he could secure a first place there.
Yeah, unfortunately, no FSR Fantasy League for the Pro Series. There is one for the World Championship Series, so check that out on the website for later on. But at the moment, oh, Falcon!
Ooh, Falcon running wide again. I might.
Is that
a
stop-go?
I don't know if it's a stop-go.
Sam Jones, our cameraman, told us that stop-goes usually happen at the hairpin. I believe they happen at turn 1 as well, but it's never happened to me, so I can't really... That's just assuming, yeah. So here's a stop-and-go as well for running wide at turn 1. As Brewer will shape up a pass for the lead. Around the outside, Falcon defends. He'll go for the undercut. Oh, he spins, and Brewer has almost collects the wall. So Brewer's now in 4th place. And that's, oh, wow.
Well, what an unfortunate.
Yeah, a bit speechless for that. He's having such a great race up to that point. So Falcon has spared another life. He must be a cat, because if he's got 9 lives, he's probably got about 6 left now, which he'll use in the next 22 laps. But let's see Christoph Schur now, who's... we'll see the gap when he crosses the line to see how close he is to Falcon. Falcon's struggling for grip. You can visibly see him fighting the car.
Schroer here back into contention, and maybe it's that little bit of a confidence boost that it gives him that might bring him on to the win this race. We're almost halfway through, and I see Adrian Falcon running wide almost every lap into turn 1. He might get into problems later. He's definitely under trouble now under the braking, and Christopher Schroer with the DRS open. I would be amazed if he wouldn't get a decent attempt in. Let's go on board with Christopher Schroer here. Opens the DRS. Or Adrian Falcon already going defensive here, which they do properly. And Christopher Schroer has to get around it. Brilliant defending by Falcon, and he just closes the door, which was his right to do so. And no position change there. So Schroer going defensive once more, and there's a car in the gravel there.
It's Vicentovic in 17th, so luckily he didn't get in the way of the battle. He was
luckily for him
battling with another couple of drivers. This battle for the lead is thrilling as Cahill gets out of the way. His Klopp is now back.
And look who's there. Look who's clopping on the door. Eh? It's Rens Klopp here, back into contention, and well, he definitely wants to speak with Adrian Falcon after what happened earlier onto the hairpin, and I'm sure he feels not so happy with the move he made. He's already taking a look at Schroer.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Swokas has made a mistake or something. I don't know what's going on, but he spun through the final couple of corners. Oh, he made contact with Brewer through the stadium section, and I'm not sure what happened there, but they just made a bit of contact, and Swokas continues. He only lost a few seconds as the battle for the lead now.
Unfortunate Swokas, but we go back to the leaders of this race. It's 3 wide almost going to the hairpin. Certainly within half a second of each other, and this is just turning up to be an epic race once more. And what did you expect from FSR after 7 weeks of absence? It's the chaos circus once more, and professional fighting here for the lead. And I'm just curious to see what will happen next. I mean, we already see some action between Falcon and Klopp earlier on. We have seen Brewer spinning off just a second ago, and I'm just curious about what happened next.
Yeah, the stop-go penalties being removed all over the place. This battle for the lead is completely or utterly thrilling. Because, Schor runs wide. This will give Klopp a... Oh, wow, what a move. So he takes advantage of that, and Klopp takes P2.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
That's a mistake. Don't want to make if Rens Klopp is behind you, because he will have no second thoughts about opportunizing on that mistake, capitalizing on that mistake. Sorry for my English there. But yeah, definitely, Rens made the brilliant move stick there after a mistake of Schroer. And he's now looking at Adrian Falcon like, okay, we have been in this spot 10 laps ago. What will it be this time, you know? We're getting close to the pit stops once more. I mean, in 3 or 4 laps, I think one of these guys will pit stop. And Rens just taking a look here at Falcon, saying, okay, I have my eyes on you. You better make no mistakes now, because I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, and back into it's Winter and Campus battling for 5th and 6th. I'm not sure if that was Campus taking the position away. Oh, as Winter spins and he's into the wall.
He's out.
And that's... no, he continues, surprisingly, but he's got a lot of damage. Yes, he'll have to pin. He's effectively out of any contention for some good points.
Oh, goes off the track once more.
Oh, look at the lead! That's Eastman stuck and Falcon flipped upside down.
Holy cow, what just happened here? What just happened here? Going on to the replay, Adrian Falcon going to the complex.
That's quite unfortunate. I think
Oh my god! Ben Eastman, what are you doing on the middle of the track, man? And he suddenly quits, but you should... Oh my god, I just don't get this. Adrian Falcon gets flipped over, but and can continue his way, but in what matter? It's just, I mean, I'm staggered.
Falcon pits and he misses his pit box. This is quite possibly the most terrible minute of his life. Obviously not, but I mean for this race, it's quite
this is
unfortunate for him.
Unfortunate is the right way isn't the right way to describe what just happened, man. I mean, Ben Eastman there just getting, I don't know, hate mails probably a lot the upcoming hours, but nah, that was really something that you shouldn't see. Definitely not an FSR car in the middle of the track getting crushed by the leader of this race. Should escape immediately if you see the race, because he was turned a full 180 degrees. He should have seen him coming, for sure.
Yeah, he was. I watched the replay. He was each shot on the curb a little bit. He was obviously not aware that the leaders were coming up, so he was trying to reverse
he does have the
back
map
onto the track.
He does have the map underneath, so he should have been aware of that. And I think it's full blame for them. And it effectively, Adrian Falcon will obviously say after the race that effectively it cost him the race. And he would be right. So let's see if he can get a good point finish in, but I don't think so, because he's fighting in 10th place now.
Yeah, that's just what a what an
eventful race. Indeed, what an eventful race. At this moment, though, is Rens Klopp feeling he's back on track. Oh, but as I just said, he's getting brake problems here, which allows Christoph Schroer to closes the gap a little bit. So Rens Klopp not comfortably in the lead, because he does have some twitchiness on the steering now. The stability that he had at the early parts of this race has gone a little bit. Maybe it's just the tire wear, because this stint is already 13 laps old for him. But if he can extend his lead here.
Yeah, 15 laps to go, and if he's going to extend that lead, pitting now might give him some fresh grip on a fresh set of soft tires. So it's up to him to do that. So Christoph Schroer, what is he? He's 1 second behind. He's in the DRS window though. Or he's just under a second, I should say. They pretty much dropped the rest of the field after all this quite thrilling events that took place. So the second pit stop window is now for the two stoppers, which I'm assuming is almost everyone. There's Partington.
Alessio Campos is indeed, and Partington too. Alessio Campos actually started in, what was it, 12th position? And or 14th, and 12, he's in the top 5 now, even after his pit stop. So this is going well for him.
Yeah, Dewald Nell takes 5th from him. He's having a great race too, I say. Holmes is in 7th with the Jensen Button, we should say. I'm liking these nicknames we got. We got clopping on to people like those puns, and Lionel Clue. We need more names like that. So if you got a good name, come and race.
Well, Ben Eastman definitely took the UCE trophy there, but sorry Ben, but that was just something. Yeah, but the pink helmet, of course, of Jonathan Holmes, reminding us to Jensen Button there. So, yeah, let's get back onto the track. I think the most of the guys who have been the most opportunistic here is certainly Mikko Suokas, finding himself now in 4th place after, I believe, not starting from the top. Dewald Nell and Alessio Campos fighting it through to the top 10, and even Jonathan Holmes on 7th now after having started from 13th.
Yeah, and Falcon is in 9th, and he's Brewer pits. But in the meantime, so does Swoker. So we'll just go to that battle for the moment. See how Daniel Brewer's pit stop is. Oh, I think he's missed his box. No, he hasn't. So that's good for him. And nice, fast pit stop.
Yeah, this hopefully allows Adrian Falcon to reclaim another position or two. Come on, Adrian, you can do it, man.
Brewer's very close to the blend line. But he gets away well, and he is in 5th.
So Campus here, jumping Brewer.
And he's having a shot at Dewald Nell. So Dewald Nell hasn't pitted, he's in P3. Campus right onto the back, and he'll take that position away easily.
Because Dewald Nell not closing the door or anything. He's just basically saying, come on through, you know, I have an Italian cappuccino here for you, just pass on by, you know. No, but he wasn't defending any lines, you know. Or he might have thought, well, I'm gonna cut underneath and accelerate earlier by taking a wider line. I didn't see any effort there of him. Alessio Campos did just pit early, and he might have thought, well, I'm not gonna defend a guy on new tires. I don't see any logic either way.
Yeah, as Klopp pits, as Score continues, so maybe Score can, I don't know, he'll jump in, but Klopp pits and he'll switch on to the, is that the Super Soft?
I think it is. It's the Super Soft. So that's, I don't think risky. The tank has been a little bit more empty. The track is rubbered out a little bit more. And Rens Klopp obviously has the confidence. I hope, however, Christopher Schroer has the knowledge that he has to pit now too. Because any lap he will continue now, he will lose out more than a second compared to Rens Klopp. Rens Klopp is just qualifying mode for the next 14 laps like Nico Rosberg was in the Hungarian Grand Prix. And every second now on the track is a disadvantage for Christoph Schroer. So what he needs to do now is going to the pit. He does have his pit light on now. So
we're expecting him by the end of this lap.
Definitely.
As he will cross the Sector 2 line now. I love that camera angle of entering the stadium section, but
Christoph Schroer made some mistakes already. I think Rens Klopp will jump in with 3 or 4 seconds to spare, to be honest. I don't want to be negative about Christoph Schroer, but I think it will be 3-4 seconds here. Rens Klopp already into the screen.
15.9 seconds was the gap, so let's watch Klopp as he's past the Sachs curve, I think it's called. Schroer is just entering his box now. So yeah, he's missed his box. Yeah, that's effectively over.
Okay, GG, well played. Rens Klopp here taking the lead, and I don't think he will see any contention into his mirrors once again. This rate. Although he did spin earlier, might happen again. And there's actually a car spinning in front of him. It's a back marker there who spins right in front of him. Oh my god! I mean, imagine himself losing a front nose. Because of the back marker spinning in front of him, like Adrian Falcon had. I mean, wow. So much action in this game, so many people losing control of the cars. Even the front markers like Rens Klopp, we have seen him spinning. We've seen Daniel Brewer spinning, who's now in contention over 3rd place with Alessio Campos. Campos defending well on the inside here, leaves enough space on the outside, but Brewer doesn't have the speed to pass him. But he definitely is still in contention for this last podium spot. So let's see what they can do. Campos here holding on to the racing line, not feeling anything of the pressure here from Brewer. And I think it's just good that the reduction of the dirty air has decreased a little bit, because through these complexes you wouldn't see these close battles now otherwise. So definitely gives a better spectating view of the races, that's for sure.
Yeah, that back marker that spun, by the way, was Cordial Cahill. I think he had a brakes issue, so and good for him that he stayed off the line, which is smart, and he got out of the way of the leaders battle, so good driving from him. And Brewer and Campos, interesting note, are on a soft compound. They pitted earlier than Klopp and Schroer, so Klopp and Schroer are effectively the battle for the lead,
right? And
Campos and Brewer will, unless the end of the stint their tyres last, they probably have no chance of winning this race.
Yeah, I would be amazed if Campos would get a podium. He started outside of the top 10, remember, and Brewer actually starting 5th. So Brewer gained 1 place, Alessio actually gained more than 10 places. Brewer going for it once again, but Alessio closing this door right here and definitely pushing on to the outside, saying this is my corner right here. I have the top speed, even with you having DRS. If I don't make a mistake, you won't get past, and that's the signal Campos is to Brewer right now.
Yeah, so Swerkus as well went into the gravel. He lost a couple of positions.
They're definitely fighting. If we can keep our eyes on Alessio and Daniel Brewer, that would be really great, because these guys are fighting it out for the podium spot, last podium spot that has to be divided at this moment. Because Rens Klopp is now eating away from Christopher Schroer, and the lead is just edging out.
So still, it's 0.4 of a second between Brewer and Campos. So Brewer's as close as ever been. Runs a bit wide. I don't think we'll get a stop go. By the way, going back to this, before this pass happens, the stop go pin, I think the procedure is to set up a quick chat to whisper to the steward, which...
It's impossible during driving if you have your rig set up. It's not relevant at the moment as well, but fortunately they have been removed. Daniel Brewer is now trying to overtake Campos here. Campos defending the inside again and going to the outside once more. And Brewer now trying to make the undercut. Actually does brilliantly, but doesn't have the traction. I mean, choosing that line, you cannot go on the power earlier, onto the throttle earlier than Campus would, and well, it just showed. So what Brewer can do now is just hope that he can apply as much pressure that he can force a mistake from Campus. But we already know, I mean, I know for a fact that Campus is a real tank on the road. He won't make mistakes that easily, and you have to come from a long way. But well, Brewer's certainly talented enough to do it. Let's see who's the better of them in this race.
Yeah, the guy from England trying to show the guy from Italy who's fastest, but Campus is a solid driver, and he's definitely feeding off the pressure that Brewer's giving him. He's taking it as more of a positive thing for him, because he's really right onto the back of him. That's Daniel Brewer on Campus, and braking very late. He's trying new things, Brewer, and he'll get a poor exit, so that's definitely not going to work. And he won't get a pass done on this straight.
Oh, but in history terms, England versus Italy in the racing series was like, yeah, you know, you remember Enzo Ferrari calling the guys garagistes, you know. But damn, if I would choose a home for motor racing, I would definitely say England, right? I mean, that's where the racing roots lie down.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Europe, in my opinion, Europe in general is definitely where racing lies, but that's because I'm going to sit on the fence and not judge on which country has taken the racing blood. So I'm watching. I thought Brewer passed Campus, but no, he's still stuck behind. So that's 10 laps to go. Let's watch this.
Yeah, and I have to say, and I have to point out that I'm really amazed that Adrian Velkom, with probably a highly damaged car from a, you know, flip over, almost a barrel roll, returned into contention with 5th spot at this moment. So he definitely didn't lose any spirit, and he's driving it now, trying to limit it as much damage as he can. And having said that, indeed, LSU Campus is still fighting with Daniel Brewer. Brake discs, red glowing hot, and they're giving the car everything it has to offer. They still have 8 laps to go.
Yeah, Brewer's trying to brake very late into that corner, but I think he needs to probably concentrate more on an exit.
Sorry, Falcon is out. Falcon parks the car. I just complimented you, Adrian. What are you doing to me? He's unfortunately out of the race, and he
lost his rear wing.
Yeah, he lost his rear wing, and well, unfortunate for him.
Unfortunately, he was playing with fire throughout the race at turn 1, and finally that fire burnt him because he spun out on the exit and lost his rear wing. Yeah. So unfortunate for him. He had a great chance to win this race, but it all just
I think the damage played in part. I think the damage played part, because that was not a mistake. He even came back onto the track. He had 1 second of track in order to get things sorted, and I think it was just the damage. But definitely sad to see him go. But seeing him go, it leaves opportunities to others. Jonathan Holmes now finds himself in 6th, but Nell in 7th, Sander Kalla in 8th, and well, Mike Partington in 5th, having started from 10th, I believe. So he's having a great race. And at the moment, LSU Campus and Brewer still fighting it out for the last podium spot.
Oh, there's some contact behind Score.
There is, and it's the sinister car we talked earlier about. It's Renan Lopez, together with, I believe, I don't know, I'm not too sure.
It's
Dimitri
Zaharov.
Zaharov.
So what it was, I looked at it, Zaharov's letting a lap car through, and then he's trying to let through Lopez, who has no idea that he's slowing down, and that's just gone into a bit of a terrible sequence of, that's going to be looked at definitely by the stewards there. But going back to the front runners, it's still that battle. Brewer, Campus has dropped Brewer. Not sure if Brewer's made mistakes or not.
No, but definitely action all around, and I didn't think we would see that many crashes onto this race. Here, the sinister car now pulling up next to the track and leaving the cars to lap them once more, and Zaharov's once more. Hopefully he's not causing any trouble on the track like we've seen with Falcon. I mean, that was just terrible, man. Christopher Schroer really slow towards the 3rd turn of this track. Never mind. Alessio Campos now getting caught once more by Daniel Brewer. So Daniel lost a little bit, but now he gains a little bit. A little bit of topsy-turvy there.
Yeah, and Zaharov was stuck on the track, so good for him that he escaped, so he doesn't get in the way of any battles and receives no penalties for the moment, at least. I don't think it was his fault though on the straight anyway. But still, Brewer's caught back up to camper, so I definitely think Brewer made a mistake, and now he makes another one. He gets a terrible exit out of the hairpin. I think at campus, the speedy Italian, Speedy Gonzalez, is going to keep this podium, and what a podium, as you said, starting from outside of the top 10, this would be.
Yeah, indeed, and like I said earlier, he's the rock in our team. He doesn't make many mistakes, and he shows once more. Although there's still 6 laps to go. I mean, everything can happen, you know, but he definitely shows here that he's a stable driver and he knows what he's doing. And clinching a podium for him would be nice, as it would be nice for Daniel Brewer. But there's only one spot to divide, and at this moment it's Alessio with the advantage.
And
so Brewer going wide a little bit.
Yeah, well, so Brewer's pushing it. 5 laps or 6 laps to go, and they're 17 seconds off the lead. They're on the soft compound as Lionel Klug gets out of the way, and Brewer's caught back up to him rapidly, and he gets another poor exit.
Yeah,
so,
I'd rather see Brewer trying really hard and failing than I would see him just taking 4th spot and thinking, well, you know, 4th, this is good as well. No, we want to see racing. So thumbs up already for Daniel for try.
Yeah, and he's definitely, as I said, I've said it 3-4 times, I can't remember, he's been pushing it to the limit as they're 17 seconds off the lead because they're on the soft compound, so they're pretty much essentially losing a second a lap to Schur and Klopp. Schur's kept this gap honest. It's only 2.5 to Klopp, so if Klopp makes a mistake, I won't put a curse on him, but he could lose that lead.
He could.
And Holmes and Partington, Holmes is up to 6th, so he's had a great race considering he's had no practice and he started in 13th. Partington as well is up to 5th, another solid race. And Santa Callas is in 8th. He started probably, what was it, 18th or something like that, so he's had another great race. And Brewer's very close to
that's what I was about to say indeed. Brewer can just like almost touch the rear wing of Campus here. And all he needs here is a great exit. He already knows he can't beat him onto top speed, so all he has to do is get a better exit at this corner, but he doesn't. This is the commentator curse we talked about, and he's crashing now. Brewer, no, he's just parking the car right there, and he quit it. He quit it.
Why did he quit? He was in 4th. He should have continued.
I don't know, maybe massive disappointment. He could still pick up those turns. He touched the wall slightly. You know, he definitely didn't have the damage yet. Maybe he stalled his engine. No, there's anti-stall on these cars. I mean, I don't know. I'm amazed. Daniel Brewer, man, you quit way too early. Sorry to say, bro. You definitely raced your lungs out, but like this is really like unforgivable. You know, there were some good points to collect.
He actually rage quitted, so that's quite amusing. Not for him, obviously. But he could have, if he kept going, he still would have got 4th, because Partington was entering turn 1 when he spun.
I completely agree with you, and well, nevertheless, that's one way to quit. Either way, Jonathan Holmes now finding himself in a fancy 5th spot, Mike Partington into 4th, and I think Alessio Campos can breathe easily now. What's happening?
Partington's off into the wall.
Oh, Mike Partington.
And now he loses... he's stuck onto the tire wall, isn't he? Oh,
Jonathan Holmes into 4th now. He's climbing all over the place. And Dewald Nell desperately trying to release the car from the tire wall, or having a challenge, or having a fight with it after having that first confrontation. But no, that's a DNF for Mike.
Yeah,
really unfortunate for Eventa Sim Race.
So that's, hopefully he doesn't do that in the WC race, which he'll be appearing in later on. So Holmes is gifted 4th place now from those 2 retirements in the space of a lap.
And Rando Tam actually had a collision earlier on in the race in the 1st or 2nd lap, which actually caused him to have sustained a lot of damage. He kept his things together earlier on, or later on in the race. He gets lapped now by the leaders, but he's in 9th place. So he does collect some good points for only keeping it together. He will get more points than Brewer because he's driving on. Brewer just rage quits and thinks, okay, I'm done. But no, this guy's coming out strong.
Yeah, and Christoph Schur's only 1.4 seconds behind Klopp now. He's brought that gap down. Campus is effectively got third now. He's had 20-second gap to the guy in front and behind, but we'll concentrate on the lead in these final remaining laps as Schur is really pushing it. Maybe Klopp's tyres are going off. Remember, they're both on the super soft, so they're 10 laps old at the moment for both of them. Although Schur did pit 1 lap later, so he would have that advantage, wouldn't he? With the fresher set.
It's not much of an advantage. It is slight, indeed, it is slight.
So this race has taken a big flip upside down. Falosa's going to score a point after starting last, I'm pretty sure.
Are you referring to Adrian Falcon with the comment flip upside down? Yeah. Are you? No, that's really nasty of me. But no, definitely we have seen some cars flipping upside down, and well, definitely the race order has been flipped upside down quite a lot. And well, I'm happy to say that than we would see like a Valencia 2009 where one car was overtaking the entire race.
Yeah, that was not a... We won't talk about that race because we'll have nightmares, but there's... I didn't mean that pun. I'll take the credit that I did actually mean that pun when they're flipping over.
Oh, of course, I was pissed.
Yeah, other than that, Schur's now dropped down to 2 seconds behind Klopp. So Klopp's got his commentary of us two on board with him, and he's listened to the gap closing down. But other than that, it seems like this race, unless someone flips over again in these next few laps, the race is pretty much shaping out.
Commentator curve's coming up.
Yeah, probably. But it seems like Berns Klopp will probably take the win with 1 lap to go, or 2 laps to go.
Well, I think he definitely deserves it. He had to fight a long way for it after having spin and that massive loss of concentration after he got the drive-through penalty, which fortunately got removed by Carlos Martin. Yeah, we have seen some epic maneuvers here, and with 2 laps to go, or 1.5 laps, certainly the biggest winner of this race is Alessio Campos. Campos clearing the podium if he continues like this, but Jonathan Holmes making up 9 positions in 40 laps. So he's doing a great job as well. For having not tested a single lap, I think he's doing a brilliant job.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this track isn't easy, even though it is wasn't as good as the old Hockenheim. It still isn't the easiest track, as Klopp is on his final lap. So this will, as you said, great job from him. Great job from Jonathan Holmes in 4th. Great job from everyone. I think everyone has everyone who's finishing now in the top 10 has done a decent job of their race. So
except
well
Ben
done to them.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, unfortunate that those
you have a better day
circumstances
next day. You know, 7 weeks if I can do a lot of things to a man, but no, maybe he'll be back later. And well, it's certainly not the way Ben Eastman would have wanted it to happen, but it did, and he has to bear the consequences of it. And I think for his case it will be severe. You know, I mean, I would just feel horrible. I mean. Imagine yourself driving a WC race and knocking out Bono or Morant while he's in the lead, and you're like, oops, you know, having spinned your car. I mean, you would just feel like, oh my god. But yeah, let's see. Let's talk about that after the race. For now, it's Rens Klopp who is finishing the race and wins this brilliant German Grand Prix. And I think Christopher Schroer can be really happy with a 2nd place as well, having started from pole position, but he did fall a little bit back. I actually was wrong with 1.5 lap. It was a half lap course. Alessio Campos now leaves the back marker to go in front of him. Didn't want any crash the last lap. Well, definitely made me nervous there. Alessio Campos here started outside of the top 10 and clinching a podium here for the Crown Netrex. Definitely.
Well, so we're still racing with Corey and Callis. I think Corey has gone up the inside of Callis, and he'll take 6th spot from him. So a wonderful last lap pass.
Callis is retiring.
And Callis is pulling. I think he's run out of fuel probably or something. We'll see. But that gives... Yeah, Callis has run out of fuel. So Corey has taken that 6th position. They were fighting for the whole last lap. As between Corey and Campos is Holmes and Duwaldnell. Duwaldnell's had a great race. We haven't seen him up there in the top 5 before. So that's a great job from him. And Corey will cross the line for 6th. And Swokas, our winner, who's had a quiet race, will take 7th. And I think Callis
what a race it has been.
Yeah, Callis will get 8th because he was the last car on the lead lap who ran out of fuel anyway. So he'll take 8th, Rando Tam in 9th, and Filosa takes the final gifted point and 10th, starting from last. So a great race from him.
Definitely, and well, this was just everything I hoped for, to be honest, when we started this race. Not to run into my technical difficulties, but definitely the result, how this happened. No, not specifically the result, but definitely the action on track. You know, Rens Klopp definitely had to fight for it. It wasn't an easy race for him. We have seen him clinch easy victories, but this was definitely not one of them. So I don't want to hear anyone speak that he got this championship if he clinches it out of an easy way. Christopher Schroer, like I said earlier, he can write home about a brilliant result. 2nd place. It's obviously the first of the losers, but you know, that having extreme mentality is maybe not that good. The 2nd place is definitely a nice result for him, and Alessio Campos finishing out the top 3. So definitely not a name I would written down on the podium list before this race, but great job.
Yeah, don't rule out your strong teammate Alessio Campos. Driver of the day, which we always vote for each round, for me was
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
just a second, by the way, because well, I just read the chat here, and Carlos Martin is telling us, or telling Jonathan Holmes and Rens Klopp, that they are being investigated because of the cutting. So we might even, you know, let's put a little star behind the winner of this race, because Carlos says he obviously cut it a lot, but for now, indeed, it's official, I suppose.
Yeah, and I don't think Christoph Schor had any cut penalties to stop go. So if Klopp does get a time penalty for that, because he only won by 3 seconds, a minimum of 5-second penalty, I think. I'm not sure what the rules are, but he'll lose that win. But that'll be quite controversial come the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. But yeah, going back to driver of the day, I'm not going to vote for anyone. I think the top 10 or anyone who finished that race deserves credit. Quite a bizarre turn of events. I mean, even we had Falcon flipping around with the back marker, and another entertaining race in the Pro Series. We've got
and it's a nice warm-up for what's going to happen later on into the WC in, I think, an hour. So yeah, ready to talk about that, to be honest, but it's not quite time yet. Yeah, for now it's time to wrap up, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's great. As I said, been another great round, and stay tuned for the World Championship race, which will take place in just under a couple hours' time.
Check your fantasy league points.
Yep, update your fantasy teams. Pick me, because I'm hopefully going to win the race, or maybe not, but I'll do my best job for my team. Pick me and support me out. You'll be joined by Thomas Mundy and Chris de Jong as well for that race. So I hope you enjoy the broadcast. And once again, me and Chris enjoyed that race, and we'll say so long from the digital commentary booth here at FSR.
Definitely. Thanks for watching, and we see you in an hour's break, and see you soon. So.